Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala ashrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh and good morning to everyone. My name is Sita Fatiha binti Ismail, your moderator for today's student life sharing session. I would like to extend a very warm welcome to our panel, Sister Atira binti Abdullah and Brother Faris Jafri, and of course, all students of Center Foundation Studies International Islamic University Malaysia who are joining us today. Before we begin, I would like to invite Brother Muhammad Akib bin Azhar to lead the recitation of dua. Please welcome.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum. Ummul Furqan Al-Fatihah. A'udzu billahi minasyaitonir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin. Wassalatu wassalamu ala asyrafil anbiya'i wal mursalin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Ya Allah, ya fa'alul lima yurid. Oh Allah, we express our gratitude to you for allowing us to attend this event on this auspicious day. Oh Allah, we ask you for the safety of our religion and the welfare of our body. Oh Allah, Lord of the implementing authority, make the days that we've gone through, starting with your mercy, continue with your blessing and righteous guidance, ended with your forgiveness. Make the days that we've gone through spent in your obedience, adorn us with the adornment of the righteous and clothe us with ornament of the pious in spreading good behavior, lowering the wing of humility, beauty of conduct, advancing towards excellence, avoiding condemnation, being gracious to the undeserving, speaking truth to Peter. Ya Allah, Ya Muhaimin, Ya Aziz, Ya Jabbar, let our efforts as a means to enlighten and convince ourselves that the personal safety of either outer or inner is a prerequisite for achieving happiness and excellence in various fields. O Allah, grant us faith and strength in order to face the challenges of life during these needy yet troubling times in the face of life in this new norm. Ya Allah, Ya Farijal Ham, Ya Kashifal Gham, Ya Man li Abdihi Yaghfiru wa Yarham. O Allah, show us guidance and adjust our path and ways to achieve happiness and glory. Let us listen to people who like the good things. Let us avoid the bad and evil things. O Allah, bless our life in this gathering and prevent us from harm and unfortunate event. Sallallahu ala Sayyidina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa barik wa sallam. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alamin.
Amin Amin Ya Rabbal Alamin. Thank you to Brother Akib bin Azhar for the dua recitation. May our event today run smoothly and granted blessing by Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. Alright everyone, I'm sure all of you are eager to live every moment to the fullest scale at CFSIIM, right? Therefore today, our panels will share a lot of fun experience with all of you. As we know in Malay saying, tak kenal maka tak cinta. Therefore, before we go deeper with our sharing session, I would like to invite Sister Atira and Brother Faris to introduce themselves. Please welcome.
All right, I think I'll start first, and then Faris will introduce himself. Assalamualaikum everyone. Happy to meet everyone, 74 of them, new students, new life. So I think this is the first, another chapter of your life, and we would really love to share what we have so that you would be prepared along the journey. So my name is Nur Atira bint Abdullah. You could call me Sister Atira or Atira. I was in batch 1920, and I was the former treasurer of Student Coordination Committee 1920, and also the president of Global Community Club 1920. So basically, I am colleague with Faris Jafri during that time and also now. So currently, I am pursuing Bachelor of Law in Ahmad Ibrahim Kuliah of Law, Gombak campus. So currently, I am in my second year, first semester. So it's been 2 years since I entered CFS. Yeah, it's been a long time. So and right now in Gombak, I am the administrative secretary of Office of President. I am student union. If you guys know about IMSU, so that is my current position, and I really love to walking down the memory lane with you guys today. Happy to see you guys. So that's all for me.
All right, everyone. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Faris bin Jafri. During the time in CFS, I was the Vice President of Student Coordination Committee of 1920. And then I was also the President of Foundation Center Human Sciences Society for Focus. Yes, like Atira said, CFS is a new chapter for your life. And for me, personally, it was a very life-changing moment for me. And it paved the way for specifically my leadership journey up until now. I'm actually currently running for the presidential seat for our kuliah student society, but that's another thing to discuss later, if ada lah later. But so, yeah, happy to meet you guys, and would love to reminisce on the past that we had, and I hope we can sort of like share that same feeling and same passion that we had during CFS with all of you guys. All right, pass the floor to our sister Siti Asma for moderation. Thank you.
Thank you to Sister Atira and Brother Faris. And nice to meet both of you also. So I'm sure all of you are very well informed that the Taaruf program is conducted annually. So we really want to know from Sister Atira and of course Brother Faris about your experience in Taaruf Week that was conducted physically during your foundation year. And what do you think are the major difference between online and physical Taaruf Week? And if you don't mind, tell us the most memorable part of your Taaruf Week.
All right. Thank you so much, Miss Moderator. Experiences in Taaruf Week. I would say I have a lot of experiences in Taaruf Week. Like it have been my life in CFS days. So I actually experienced 3 methods of Taaruf Week, which I participate and I also manage Taaruf Week during my CFS days. So the first one you mentioned about the experiences for the physical one. So for the physical one, I think it's kind of like follow the tradition kind of Taaruf. Like it is the same thing with what the senior have gone through. So kalau if we have physical Taaruf, we would usually have many talk session, and it was conducted in lecture hall or what is the main hall during our CFS? Khawarizmi, right? So yeah. Hey, by the way, may I know, did you guys on campus or at home?
Yes, all of us here are on campus right now.
All right, glad to hear that. Seriously, you should experience things on campus rather than to be at home. So yeah, so for physical Taaruf, we would usually have a talk session in either in Khawarizmi Hall or Lecture Hall 1. And it is the same concept actually. Orientation, introduction about all the services in CFS, and then the facilities, and also introduction about your course program. Specifically, during that time, I was taking a foundation in law, so we are introduced with the thing about our in our course lah, because pre-university is different from high school. The subject is different, the courses is different. So this is what the orientation or Taaruf Week had prepared to us. So I think it is the same concept, and So that one is when I was like you guys, just entered the foundation. And I think that time, the Taaruf week at that time is so hilarious because orientation program. But I think that is because we are so close with the committees. And then we are in the same batch. I think everyone is excited about stepping on a new journey and then new friends. Like you would randomly ask stranger anything, like, you know, "Oh, awak buat apa kat sini? Awak course apa?" Tapi this only happens when you are in your first semester lah. In your second, third semester, you don't like to approach people dah. Sebab you already have friends, so why do we need to ask stranger and things like that? But it's fun because we are very close with the committee, and the most memorable part about that Taaruf is that you know, usually Taaruf week is very we need to follow the procedure and formalities. Like, all right, today we need to have a talk session. Tomorrow we have bay'ah and all sort of thing, like according to the tentative. So the committee was like, all right, sister, brother, sister, you need to do this. Brother, sister, you may rise. Brother, sister. So what do we do? My batch during that time, I don't know who initiated it. I think my friend from Kak Ed, if I'm not mistaken, they start spreading memes about the Taaruf week, so that everyone, the meme is spreading to all WhatsApp group, and then the committees got to know about that. So it's fine, like we are united with that kind of humor. I think that is the best part. And then like we always like macam berebut to go to the venue because there is 300 of 3,000 of us. And then we don't want to sit at Hawarizmi Hall because, you know, the back pain, you know, hearing all the talk session. So we would like berebut to go to lecture hall because we want to sit on the chair. So I think that is the fun part. And then I experienced hybrid Taaruf too. But that one I managed the Taaruf with Faris. So we are not the student, we are the committee of the Taaruf week. So I think that one is also memorable because it's very challenging, because this hybrid Taaruf was conducted in July 2020, if I'm not mistaken. And this is during the COVID-19. So this is when the COVID-19 happens, and we need to do, at that time there's no certainty, like if we what if we were to do an online Taaruf or physical Taaruf, but then the university decided to do a hybrid Taaruf, and it is very challenging because we don't have the president. We totally changed the concept, the contact of the Taaruf week. And during that time, I think it is more exciting to the new students because we have kind of something like explorers, and then we insert sejahtera development goals, elements and aspiration in the Taaruf content. So I think it's way more fun than the previous concept. So this one is hybrid, and then the online one is during my degree, but there is nothing much to talk about because that one is when the cases of COVID-19 arises due to the subsequent to the PRN in Sabah. So everything was shut down, and yeah, nothing much. But I do really love Taaruf in CFS. Like if you were in CFS, do join the committee if there is an application. You know, you know what you need as a student, so you would give the same when you become the committee. So I think that is my experiences in Taaruf week. It's fun actually.
I will agree with most of what Sister Tira just said just now, except for the part where she said that she stopped introducing herself to random strangers after Taaruf week, because I continued doing so because it's a new place to be in. If you're a first year student, if you're a CFS student, you just started into going into this new university world. It's like the entrance of the university world. You guys don't know what's ahead of you guys, and you're all in the same batch. You're all as clueless as everyone else. So why not just relate to everyone with that cluelessness, you know? And perhaps you can forge friendships. You can forge acquaintances, you know, work relationships, and just enrich your life and take this chance to really revamp yourself. So let's go back to the topic of Taaruf Week. To me, my personal experience with Taaruf Week was, of course, being the Bai'ah leader for our physical Taaruf Week.
Yes, Faris was the Bai'ah leader, and then when I first met Faris in the meeting, I was like, oh, this is the Bai'ah leader.
I do not know how I got that position, but I did. And up until now, this is an achievement that I'm very proud of. It's still in the IUM Leading the Way song. If you look in the music video, there's a part where we will fulfill the amanah. That lyric, you will see my face striving to lead the bai'ah for all. Yeah. But it was like Sister Atira said, I also managed a hybrid sort of like Taaruf Week with the next batch of after us. So, but the funny thing is, that's when COVID-19 started to spike, but there was only about 30 cases. Okay, for context, I live in Sarawak. So at that time, COVID-19 cases started to spike. And what I mean by spike is that it's only relative to what we have right now, it's only 30 cases. So I had to make a change of plans because I was not able to go to CFS at the time because of safety concerns and etc. However, that turned into a very, very unique experience because I became a virtual program coordinator. I would create these Telegram groups and operate these Telegram groups because students will come by batches. So I will use these Telegram groups to communicate with the juniors. Sometimes I would play a few games with them. Sometimes I would, obviously my role was to signal to them when the next program will start and etc. So yeah, that was a very unique experience for me. I wouldn't call it too exciting. It was very new for me, you know, but it is very, you know, I learned a lot of things regarding Telegram, regarding connecting with the juniors, and overall, that is ultimately what differs. What's the difference between physical Taaruf Week and online one? I think the connection between the juniors and the seniors, unfortunately, due to communication troubles because everyone is online, is diminished to a certain extent. So again, reach out to your seniors because at least they can teach you a thing or two about your courses. They can. It's also a great way to make new friends with the seniors, even like outside of your own age group and going beyond your own age group, and just, you know, you can literally rebrand yourself in CFS. So Taaruf Week is the start of that. So yeah, that's the answer, the holistic answer to the question. All right, thank you.
Wait,
okay.
before we proceed, may I know how this Taaruf Week is conducted?
Actually, this is hybrid, also hybrid.
Also hybrid.
Yes. Okay. So actually, I am the committee for this hybrid Taaruf. So yeah, I'm worried. So because I think after this, maybe our committee will be on the meme, like our brother Atira and the gang do. And actually, we have also a session, which is the leading the way session. And I think all the news intake will find Brother Faris on the screen, where the brother Faris. So yeah, let's waiting for that. Okay. Okay, so you guys so lucky because you can enjoy your hybrid Taaruf, because in my time is a full online, and yeah, it's not fun as this lah. Okay, so actually, for all your information, Sister Arsira is a law student, and while Brother Farid is psychology student, and now both of them are pursuing their degree. I really want to know from Sister Atira and Brother Faris your inspiring academic journey, like your challenge, your memories, your academic memories in here, like you go to the lecture halls, because we are now online, fully online. So because I am art based, so fully online. So share with us your memories and your challenge in academic in CFS IIM.
Can I go first for this one? All right, so academic challenges. For a lot of people, it's different. Some people have trouble connecting to the lecturers. Some people have trouble actually understanding the course matter, or some people have trouble because their English is not yet proficient. So those are the academic challenges that I see among my peers, and I try to help them lah. Alhamdulillah, for me, there was not really much of academic challenges outside of trying to get to know what your lecturers want. Essentially, in university life, not only do you need to understand the course matter, the coursework, you also need to understand the rubric that was given out by your lecturers. So if your lecturer has not been able to fully convey the rubric, then it is quite important for you guys, the students, for us to ask the lecturers about what they're specifically asking for in an assignment, in a test, the format they're asking for, and etc. Those are the aspects that will contribute very greatly to your academic performance. Consulting with lecturers is even to this day is underrated, I would say. A lot of students are very afraid of approaching their lecturers, but trust me when I say that, especially lecturers in CFS, from my experience in my department, HS department, our lecturers are incredibly supportive, and they want you to succeed as well. So they would open the consultation hours, and then take advantage of those consultation hours as much as possible, because it gives you not only an academic edge, it also gives you the ability to get to know more about your lecturers, how's their journey, and it just plays a big role in trying to revamp yourself or rebrand yourself if you want to move further in life after CFS. Because I do believe that CFS is a turning point for quite a lot of people. This is a turning point where for some, you don't have to ask for your parents' permission to go out, or for some, you don't have, for some who studies who are not in hostel schools, they're able, boarding schools, they're able to experience that life in CFS, and it's just a great opportunity for you to learn, not from your own batch, but also from the lecturers. And the academic journey that everyone have, I think, is unique. So again, do ask your lecturers, and they will surely help, inshallah. All right, Sister Atira, you have anything to add?
All right, thank you so much. I do agree with what Faris said about reach out to your lecturer, because I remember, I think Sata is not Sata. Dr. Ahmad El Muhammad is not in CFS anymore, but this is the thing that he mentioned to me, that you would never find that kind of lecturer in CFS in your degree life. And I would agree with that. It is not like a lecturer in main campus is not kind, but the deep level of connection and contribution the CFS lecturer provide to us is amazing, I would say. So do reach out to your lecturer, because they are so supportive, and you could learn a lot from them. So you mentioned about academic challenges. I think I would I would really love to share my academic background first before I entered CFS, because I do believe many of the students feel hesitate about entering a new journey with various people and various background. So I hope this would actually help any of you guys that were struggling right now. So my academic experiences is I was coming from a small village. I was coming from a small village in Johor, small boarding religious school. So I think at that time education is the only thing, is the only way out of my that time of life lah. So that time I really want to do, but I really want to do law. I really want to read law since I was in form 4. So what did I do at that time is I really focus on the subjects and courses that I need to be excellent to enter law or Sharia in overseas, but I do prefer UIA first. So at that time I really want to do law, I really want to read law, but the challenges is when I first entered CFS, I have difficulties in using language, as what Faris mentioned just now. Some people have difficulties in their English proficiency, and I go through that moment. It was like, you know, when you are in a class with various backgrounds, some people yeah, it is really related to your upbringing, seriously, because not every people use language in their use English language in their school, and also the family upbringing also contribute to this. So it is hard for me. So I remember that time after the first class with my friends, and I feel very afraid. I feel very afraid, and I feel insecure, or you know, all the insecurities after seeing your friends. You know, you think that you are not enough. You didn't you didn't feel good as much as compared to them. So what did I do at that time is like, you know, I spent every night to hear a lot of English YouTube video, like learning how to speak, and then the slang of English. So I learned that every night because I I just want to blend in with people. You know, I want to be friend with people, but I have the insecurity. How if I don't really good in English and people don't want to talk with me, people don't want to be in the same group presentation with me, you know, some sort of thing. So I think at that time you really need to work hard if we are not from the upbringing. You know, you are a really um emphasize on the use of Malay and English language first. So this is the thing that I need to work hard during my early days, during my foundation days. More so, I'm taking Bachelor of Law. All we do is talking. So it's really hard during the early days. But Alhamdulillah, do not worry. Seriously, do not worry if you guys coming from not that English upbringing. So because you will thrive, because um you know, over time you will have a lot of presentation, and then your lecturer will understand your situation, your friend will also understand your situation. So do not worry, because at the end of the day you will get better. So that is one of the thing, the language difficulties. But then over time, I think for academic challenges in CFS, I do not have much difficulties. I think most of it just because of the time I have for my study. Like I need to manage my societal work and also my study time. But at the end, I think my pointer is alhamdulillah good enough. So I really appreciate all the things that I've done in CFS. with my academic and societal background, because it doesn't affect my societal work, doesn't affect my study, and my study didn't affect my societal work. So you really need to balance both of these. So I think that's all about the academic challenges.
I'd like to chime in about the proficiency in English. That's the reason why EPT exists, is to uplift that
Yes.
English proficiency among students. So think of it as an extra English class that you have to take. And I will believe that, I believe that it's much more essential, especially in the context of our international university, to have that strong proficiency in English provided by EPT, because you would need that English proficiency at least to the level that they recommend in order to understand the coursework and etc. And also to collaborate, especially if you come into degree life, you would meet a lot more international students, and that proficiency, or just this, the basic ability to speak and in English helps us to not only just understand coursework, but also to collaborate with future group mates and classmates.
All right. Thank you to Sister Atira and Brother Faris. So actually, I'm also a law student, and I also have a problems in my English. So
I feel you.
yeah, so Sister Atira's sharing series very inspiring me. So thank you very much. And I'm sure all of you, this is very benefits to all of you. Okay, so without wasting any time, so actually we have a special question from Sister Sharifah Fatima, which is one of law student in CFS IIM. Therefore, I would like to invite Sister Sharifah to continue with your question.
Okay, am I audible?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you, Sister Asma. So my question is, many of my friends, they avoid applying for positions because they are afraid that it will affect their studies. And I know it is hard to juggle between a busy schedule as a student and also managing a position in your society. So how do you balance both of them? Like, because I know that you will get many questions from, especially as a member of students coordination committee, you often get questions from all of the students, right? So how do you balance your emotions and your studies in general? Thank you.
Should I start, Tira?
You can.
All right. So to be honest, we really don't know specifically what helped us got through that time, because looking back at it now, we led very incredibly busy lives. Imagine holding two portfolios. For me, it's going to be the presidency in Focus and the vice presidency in SEC, as well as trying to sustain your grades in your academic matters. To be honest, like when you say about emotions and then time management and etc., I know that this life is not for everybody, but I'm just honestly grateful, because if I did not have my teammates for all those societal work that are understanding, that are able to do their job efficiently, I would not know how I would be able to survive, because inevitably these teammates of mine become my support system. Because in psychology you learn that if having a companion that share the same tribulations as you are, it would help buffer your stress levels for quite a lot. So that's the sort of phenomenon that naturally occurred to us. We also have brother Zainul is present here. He's the sort of like advisor for our student coordination committee at our time, and alhamdulillah, he is also incredibly understanding in terms of our work and our schedule and etc. And he also sort of like we need to. I feel indebted to show my gratitude to him for helping us to lead the way. All right. So yeah, to be honest, having that natural support system of friends, of classmates, that's why I myself would not like to stop introducing myself to people even in semester 3, because I'm still meeting new people, and it's part of my job. It's part of the nature of my job to collaborate with other people. So, and sometimes those people can become, your channel for expression, small talk among your peers, and it's just seeing them facing. The thing is, like, seeing other people facing generally the same tribulations that you have. Like, for example, for Sister Atira, troubles in being able to speak English, that is also a trouble that some other person might also encounter. And truly, it's just that relatableness that unites us all in order to help us function in that environment. So imagine if that, okay, Tira, this is a question for you. Imagine if that, I'm suddenly the moderator. Imagine if that sort of like experience that we had, that double portfolio, as well as the issues that we face and etc., happen during online, where you are not allowed to, where you are not sort of like able to have small talk with your friends and etc. It's going to be much, much, much more difficult. And it's incredibly demotivating, especially during these COVID times. So yeah, I to answer the question from Sister Sharifah, for me, it comes naturally in the form of support systems, in the form of my friends, colleagues, and teammates in our societal work. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Faris. I do agree with the natural support system that we need to have. Like I've mentioned just now, you need to have an understanding group mate, assignment group mate, and then you need to also have a competent and understanding work partner. I think this is very important because only with that you would make a holistic, a healthy environment for your life. So I do agree with Faris. And also I think I would like, I think for this question there is no definite answer. Like you go anywhere and people always say, how do you manage your time actually? Even I was in cafe and then people like approach me and then like, we have a small talk and then this question will always come. How do you manage your time actually? I was like, I don't really have the answer to this actually because we just live the moment, you know? We just, all right, go through, get over it. It's okay as long as you finish everything, sort of something like that.
Yeah, okay, to chime in, sometimes we do have like our schedules, and people will always say this is my method for time management, and it doesn't apply at all to you because you don't follow schedules and etc. So again, it comes naturally. So continue.
I think the differences with Faris and me is like I'm a very planning person kind of type. So I don't really have that big support system when I was in CFS. Yes, I do have my close friend. I do have Faris in CFS back days and other comrades, but I prefer to focus on what I can do on my own part first. So I'm very I want to plan everything. So that's how I think how I thrive in the moment. So back then in CFS, actually our schedule is like 8 to 9 we have classes, and then 9 to 7 I'll be having a meeting with SCC because we need to like do daily updates and kind of sort of thing. And then we will pray for Maghrib at nearest, I think nearest at that time is library or SC.
There's a surround near student center. Yeah.
Surrounding student center. And then after that, we will have another meeting 8 until 11 at student center. That is the point for meeting. It's not a student
Yes.
center. It is a meeting center, I would say. Well, I really miss nasi lemak there. So, and then 8 to 11 we will have a meeting there with club, because we need to shift our focus, because during my time we I think right now it is separated. Not all president become the SCC,
Yeah.
if I'm not mistaken. So we need to really shift our focus. Sometimes we need to focus in our study, we need to focus on this club, and then we need to focus on the management of the students, and then
Not to mention the collaboration with other clubs as well.
yes, so there's a lot of meeting. So and then after 11, I think after 11 we need to go back to our room because of the curfew. So after 11, that is only the time I had a time for my academic study, or sometimes actually the discussion in the student center will continue in room, like calling each other. So during that time I think I spent 12 to 3 a.m. for my study. Like, what do I need to prepare for my next class, tomorrow's class, and what are the tasks that I didn't complete it yet. So this is my daily schedule in CFS. I would sleep at 3, or I think friends from I have friends from medics, and also this demanding course. I don't what do I mean is not like other courses is not very busy, but I think medic courses, they need to fulfill the pointer so that they would pursue medicine in MBBS in their degree. If not, they will not be able to enter MBBS. So my friend, I think most of my friend in medics or in CAED, they didn't have much sleep, or they didn't even sleep. So this is not a healthy environment. I would admit this is not a healthy environment. So do not do the same like us. You need to have a good sleep, have a proper sleep, enjoy your life. Seriously, like what Faris mentioned just now, this is not the life for everyone. Like, it doesn't mean like all of you need to involve in societal work or what, but if you find this would benefit you in the future, or would help you in your career, all the skill or the soft skill that you will learn, so please find a way to involve in this societal work. So it really depends on an individual and what you want to achieve in the future, but it doesn't mean you need to have that unhealthy life environment to thrive in this kind of thing. It really depends on individual, I would say.
All right. Anyway, thank you to firstly Sister Sharifah for the questions. And yeah, also thank you to Sister Atira and Brother Faris for the great answer. Okay, so we're moving on. I would like to introduce a little bit about Student Coordinate Committee, because famously known as SCC. SCC is the main student committee in CFS IIUM under the supervision of Leadership Training Unit LTU. SCC basically oversee the program conducted on campus and concern of students in general. And for all of your information, and I know that you know that both of our great panel were on of the committee of SCC in 2019, 2020. Therefore, regarding our talk about leadership, here we also have a special question from our President, Student Coordinate Committee 2021-2022, Brother Muhammad Akid bin Azhar, to our panels. Without wasting any time, Brother Akid, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Sister Sharifah. Sister Asma, sorry. Okay, so my question is, everyone knows that being a leader is not an easy task. So there are many misconceptions about being a leader, such as most people thought that leaders need to be fierce to lead people. So what are the other misconceptions and how to counter them? So that's my question. Thank you.
Ira, you can go ahead first.
All right. Okay. So, would you like to repeat the question? Misconception about leaders.
Okay, the question is, there are so many misconceptions about being a leader, such as most people thought that a leader need to be fierce to lead people. So what are the other misconceptions and how to counter them?
Firstly, Akid, what are the type of person you are? Are you fierce with your subordinates or comrades?
No.
No, seriously.
Yes.
You have your other comrades here?
Aki is very
Yes.
annoying.
All right.
Sister Asma also one of the committee of SC.
Oh, which breed?
And also Sister Sharifah just now.
Glad to hear that everyone in SEC is here. So we are like reunion of SECs. So it's okay. I think misconception about leader is that first we need to admit that there are many types of leadership. You have an autocratic leadership where all the decision is in the higher up. Like if Akid is the president, so Akid will determine everything. Akid will decide everything. So this kind of autocratic is really like centralized on one person. Other people will not have the say in the organization. So this is one of the type of the one type of the leadership. And then we have democratic leadership where you allow creativity in your decision making and framework. You know, other people have the say and people can influence the final decision. So this is the democratic where you would consider other comrades' opinion about what's happening in your organization. And then I think what are the types more? The servant leadership. The servant leadership is very more towards empathy towards the student, toward in this context the student lah. So servant leadership really focuses on the student, and it's like a selfless leadership. You didn't mention you yourself as a leader because you feel very oblique to the students. So I would say this is the main type of leadership: autocratic, democratic, and servant leadership. So misconception about leader is that first you need to look which one is the most suitable type for your personalities as a president or as the higher up. So I think every person have different kind of style, but even if we have different kind of style, I think there are two elements that we need to hold into. This is the principle in every not relationship, in every apa, what do we say, in every leadership, not relationship. So this is the two principles that I think the most imperative, regardless of what kind of person you are, what kind of leadership you are. So the first one is professional. Whatever it is, even though you are being so empathetic to the students, you need to be professional. Professional means you know how to adapt yourself with your friends, or when you meet the administrator, people in the university administration. So you need to be professional, the first principle. And then the second one is you need to be empathy. You cannot be that so autocratic, so exclusive, so elite, but you don't go to the grassroots. So this kind of leadership, if you don't have the empathy, you didn't know actually what you want to bring for the student. Like you are actually working for them, but you don't know actually what you want to bring for them. So this is the most important thing: professionalism and also empathy, regardless of your leadership style. And I think I need to admit my mistake. Like I was having a transition with SEC. SEC is like we are very we follow all the administration, and then we I think we are really guided by the administration. But now I'm in student union. So in student union we make our own decision, and we really go to the grassroots, the students. So having this kind of transition, I do feel like, oh, I made a mistake in my past life. You know, I need to admit this. When I was in SEC, like there are a lot of problem arises, like things like ATM, or um anything that centralized, like the student would always ask, where is SEC, where is our voice? So at that time I am not that very, you know, I'm not that very okay, bring student voices. Like I was like doing, when people ask me about that, I was like, okay, we need to wait for this. We need to wait for the update and kind of sort of thing. But this thing, the student didn't want to know about this. They want to know, we want ATM, we want to withdraw our money. So where is the ATM? Why the ATM is not functioning? So you need to balance these two, and how to be really professional and working closely with the administrator. So in this context, if you are the president of SEC, you will be working closely with LTU, SDCE. So you need to maintain the good relationship and also follow what's guided by the office. And at the same time, you also need to entertain the students. Orang kata jangan shock sendirilah. Like really know what happened to the student. So this is how you would avoid the misconception of the leader, so that people will not think you are so exclusive with blazer and all, but they didn't do anything, and they didn't see what you are doing.
All right. So to chime in, when you say about leaders have to be, the misconception that leaders have to be fierce, to be honest, I think being fierce here actually means sticking to your vision. Like trying to make, being fierce in trying to provide the betterment of others in your organization or in your community. So, okay, this hits close to home now because I'm still currently running for the presidential seat of my kuliah. But, oh, okay, so sort of like, I think this is a good opportunity for me to open up a bit about my experiences in SEC, because during my time in experiences in SEC, I was sort of like the diplomat among all of us. I'm the bridge between, because there was some internal conflict. Not gonna lie, there was some internal conflict that happened, but alhamdulillah, I was the person who's at the sort of like the bridge of the two sides. I was able to be a diplomat and hold true to that description lah, because I do believe that it's because SAC was formed by people, by a group of presidents, each with their own vision and etc. So obviously in the beginning there was like some tumbling points along the way, but in the end we sorted out that with great communication, with great openness, with great transparency and honesty, we can move forward from the simple mistakes that we make in the earlier days and move towards the goal that we set out to do. And that's what I think that being fierce as a leader means. To be fierce in your manifesting the good of the society, providing the appropriate services. If you are the SEC, what people want, again, like Tira said, like they want to know what the SEC is doing. So you can come up with a short statement about what we're trying to do, being much more accountable, being much more transparent, and that will surely dispel the misconception about student leadership. Because to be honest, the main thing I learned about being a leader, being the president of Focus, being the vice president of SCC, is being transparent about your issues as well, and acknowledging those issues, but also finding solutions to those issues. Always think what's next. Whenever an issue arises, whenever there's discord within your organization, think of what's next rather than just pondering on the same issue for weeks or even for months and leaving the issue untouched. Think what's next for the organization, for the betterment of the community. Being fierce in your goals to serve the community is what we need in our student leadership today. So I hope with the new lineup of SCC, heck, even the new lineup of Focus or any other student societies in CFS, stay true to the vision and mission of your society or the manifesto that you presented during that night where you present your manifesto to the students. And inshallah, you will reach greatness and you will provide betterment for your society. And I think that's a good place to end that answer lah. Right, thank you.
Yeah, thank you to Brother Faris and Sister Atira. So, Akid, I'm sure this is a lot of tips that you get, and of course, for me and everyone here, to build up your leadership and so on. All right. So here I would like to share a little bit story about I have through semester 1 in the campus, and me and my friends, this is our first semester. So we face a new university culture. We are first time in Karima and pointer system. So actually some of us feelings very disappointed, sad, down with our results. And yeah, of course, like Sister Atira said, medicine student was a very stressed, medic, nursing in their studies. So I see a lot of my friends crying because of their carry marks, crying because of their results, biology results, and so on. So we have 3 semesters left. And some of us have 4 semesters left. We really appreciate if Sister Atira and Brother Faris can give a motivate speech to us about how to face our next semester.
Tira, would you like to start for this one?
I think you may start first.
Okay. But I want to, okay. All right, for students who are struggling, okay, to get the context right now, it's an online learning experience, is it? It's still online, right? For CFS, right? So online learning has always been a challenge ever since COVID-19 starts. It has always been, at first it was sort of like a new thing. Your curiosity kicks in. Like, oh wow, we're video conferencing. This is the future. We don't have to meet each other in physically to connect. But later along the line, when you turn off that meeting, you see the dark reflection of your own face in the off screen from your laptop. And the loneliness, the dreadfulness, the feeling of anxiety starts to seep in. And I feel like could be almost a universal experience among all students. But not to downplay on mental illnesses and etc., making it general. It is real, but in a sense that not everyone is facing the same sort of like dread, the same issue that you are facing as well. So if that can give you comfort, then it should. If that could not give you comfort, what could give you comfort is reaching out. Be the first initiator among your friends. asking a fellow friend how they are doing can go great lengths in order to motivate not only them, but also yourself. So initiating firstly, be the first one to initiate and be able to sort of like take the time that we have to be mindful. So my sort of like way to cope with online education and etc. is to generally be mindful about my state or my feelings and etc. Because oftentimes online learning feels very instant, in a sense that one day you're in your first week of the semester and now you're already halfway through the semester in an instant. So it's easy to lose track of time. And once we lose track of time, we lose track of our lives. So ground yourself to the present, ground yourself in the sense that sometimes you need that sort of like reset, in a sense that, oh, I'm actually alive. I'm actually breathing. I can feel the wind, the breeze on my skin. I can feel my feet on the ground. I can see people to communicate with, people with rich histories, people with rich sort of like ideals, as well as their perhaps bad experiences that perhaps is relatable to you as well. So being present in the present moment is a present for people and also for yourself. So I would say, to those who are struggling right now, first and foremost, don't forget to reach out. Reaching out is very important, not only to get a third perspective of your struggles, but also to just ground your struggles. Instead of like the struggles overwhelming you, like the struggles of academic workload, the struggles of not being able to join class because you overslept, for example. Don't let those struggles overwhelm you, but instead you can just look at them from a different perspective, from a perspective of, thinking what's next, instead of thinking that it will just bring you down for the rest of your study experiences. Remember that we are human beings, and human beings have the capability to rebrand themselves at any given time. You have the power to change your sort of like your identity in any given time. I mean, obviously you're tied to certain histories of your past experience and etc. But realistically, if you really put your mind to it, you can rebrand yourself for a better you. Now, a lot of people right now spread the notion of to be yourself, to know yourself, and etc. I agree with the fact that we have to know ourselves, but we should be ourselves. We should be the better versions of ourselves instead of the current version of ourselves. And I think aspiring to be better every single day than the previous day is a good goal for you to set yourself on. Remember to take these coming days not as a whole. Don't take your future as a whole. Don't take your future as a whole in the sense that you bear the weight of the future at just one given moment. But instead, take the days as they come by. That's not how your future will come. Your future will come one day at a time. So take it easy and take it one day at a time. And focus on what you can do now. So I think that's my advice for the students. Sister Atira, what's your advice?
So you guys have, I think for the new intake, you just entered the campus, right? The one who participate in this session.
Yes.
All right. Okay. So I think it's about how to survive with studies and life during pandemic. I think that is the gist of your question. So my answer to this is that you need to, I think it is the same like what just Farid said, but I would say that it is important for you to take a break first, to take a break and be patient with yourself. So in this context, in the academic study, more so if you just transiting from high school to pre-university, and there is a lot of adjustment that you need to make. So I think coping with pre-university, it is not just about the academic problem, but also the emotional, social, and also financial problem. So because this is a whole different environment from what you have been through in high school. So all of these things, um, adding to the contribution of the stress during pandemic. So what I would suggest is take a break and be patient with yourself. And you need to acknowledge that what you are feeling right now is valid, and other people might feel the same, but other people experiencing the same, and people have their own way how they would cope with it. So because we are all doing the best that we can, and we are all doing the bare minimum to survive in this pandemic. So it is okay for you to take a break. Like what my friend did, I think we ended our foundation life in February 2020, and it is not even the end of our semester. It is after the mid semester of our semester 3. So we didn't have a proper closure of our pre-university life, and then straightly we go into the hybrid, we go into the online class. So it is a shocking moment. Like it's hard to survive with that situation. But what did my friends do is my friend do right now is that some of my friends take a break from societal work. So if you find difficulty to juggle with study and also societal work in this pandemic life, take a break. You don't have to like, okay, so Faris is running for presidential candidacy, I guess. So I need to participate in the election to, you know, it's just that you need to acknowledge that your path is different from others. So in whatever you do right now, know what is more important to you, what is your priority. So it is okay to take a break. And then like Faris mentioned, don't be afraid to ask for help. It is okay you find yourself struggling to adjust to this new norm. And you know, you have many resources like your close friend, your family, and you know, not a lot of people is unfortunate to have a good support system from their close friend and family. So if you do not have this kind of support system, do reach out to counselor or anything that you find your comforts in. So even if you know, going to cafe is is the thing that you would love to do, going to, I think going to the mart is even a comforting thing to do, a small little things that you would love to have during your break. So and then the next one is, I would say, stay connected with your friends, because um social distancing can feel very isolating. So do contact with your friends, like over a small call phone. No need to do the Google Meet pun, okay dah. So that is my suggestion. And then what's more in your context right now, this is not, I think this is not for the new intake, but you guys that have few semesters left before you start your degree. So I think you better plan your direction, where you want to go after this. So you would always spend your time to the things that matter. So it is important for your future journey. That's all from me.
All right. Thank you again, Sister Atira and Brother Faris. So actually, we still have time. So anybody here, if you have a questions and regarding you want to know anything about CFF IOM, you are feel free to ask.
Hello, Assalamualaikum. Can you hear me? So my name is Nur Fayad. I'm also one of the SCC for this year's this semester's session. I have one question. As you all, like Brother Faris and Brother Atira, have done their CFS IOM before this, I would like to ask what is the most distinctive features, maybe in terms of the systems, the study, or maybe the facilities of CFS IOM with other universities, maybe from your friends' experience, or maybe just what you have heard of other universities with us, from us. Thank you.
Differences, Akid?
Yes, differences.
All right, I think I will start first. The differences of CFS from other university, right? Can.
Yes, sister.
All right. So I think the most unique part about what is the differences of CFS and other pre-university is that the orientation program. You guys punya Taaruf week ni lah. Like other university, their Taaruf week, the content of the Taaruf week is more like, you know, doing the high school stuff. You have to please the senior. You have to do some sort of explorers, and then you need to, you know, I think that you know you need to do all the unnecessary things that is not empowering your journey in CFS. But the difference in CFS is that, of course, we uphold the vision and mission of our university. We uphold intellectual environment. So there is no practice like that in your CFS. Or we don't need to do the high school stuff. So people in CFS, they treat you like an adult. Even the program, how you will conduct and manage the program. So they will give the task to you as an adult. So this is one of the differences of CFS and other unis, and I think most of it rooted in the value of CFS and IIUM. This is what we proud of.
Okay, another distinction between CFS, because I'm not really sure about the other pre-university sort of like programs of other universities, but all I know is that CFS is the sort of like a melting pot of various different study backgrounds and you know, disciplines of study. Like it's very rare to find sort of like medic students in the same sort of like building with human sciences students, with students who are practicing law, with students who are practicing architecture, with students, you know, there's like a melting pot there of study backgrounds and cultures actually. Because
Faris, I think we could bump into anyone in Jurjani.
yes, yeah, truly. You just walk, take a walk in CFS, and then you will bump into almost all kinds of all the study field, the study disciplines that we find. You know, so it's an excellent opportunity to make friends in the medical field, to learn more about their fields. It's also an excellent pathway for you to, if you want to sort of like try to find out about other courses, if you want to change your programs, yeah, it's an important sort of like aspect of CFS that I think is fairly unique among other pre-university programs. So experiment, ask your friends, and make connections, and I think take advantage, full advantage of the diversity of CFS.
Okay, so there are any other questions from Other students? Anyway, I just want to add on. Actually, one of the something best here, which is we are on foundation and we get BKA, right? So yeah, waiting for the BKA, and when we get the BKA, so it's a very fun to spend the money as fast as possible, especially when you go to the outing. So yeah, that is one of the fun moments in actually in foundations,
Sister, be what?
getting the BKA.
Be bantuan kewangan asasi.
Yes.
Alright. Sorry. During my time, we call it KPT.
Oh, KPT. Alright, I see.
Right. It's like Kementerian Pengajian Tinggi punya duit lah, something like that. But we call it KPT. And then I'm the one who, in being the mediator between the administration and student about the KPT. And you know what? People always contact me about KPT. You know that there's a lot of documentation and
Yes.
things like that, because it is about money, right? So it forms the majority of the people in CFS. So when I ended my foundation journey, there is an app that you could track what other people save your contact number as, the name of your number in other people's contact. And then I was scrolling. Okay, I think it is normal, like people save my contact Atira KPT, Atira SCC, Atira Law. And then there's this one person save my contact number as Bantuan. I was like, alright. So
It's
I
just help.
help, like helpline, something like that. Okay, this is not the matter right now, but I just
It's
want
just a
to
fun
share.
experience.
Yeah, it's a very fun sharing. So, anybody have any questions? So there is your opportunities to ask any question about CFS to brother Faris and sister Atira.
Yes, Bismillah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Salahuddin bin Cik Raimi, and I'm now pursuing in Law Foundation in CFS, and I'm new intake student. So maybe my question is more about law. So basically, I have zero knowledge about law, and so my question is to Sister Atira. Can you give me some tips and trick how I can excel in Law Foundation? So that's my question.
All right. Thank you, Salahuddin, for the question. By the way, congratulations for admitting to law courses. I'm sure you will thrive in the moment if you become a law student. So the tip as a law student, the tip as a law student is, I think, firstly, the language part. Like I've mentioned in my early session, please brush up your skill, brush up your English. And I think the best thing about CFS is that people will not judge you. Like you cakap lah macam mana pun, people will macam acknowledge, and there's no some kind of discrimination. This is what I feel in CFS. I mean, like even other people, like people in HS or people in English literature, they will not discriminate you, and your friends will not say like, you ni dah tak pandai speaking and all. So this is the time you kena use the entire 1 year kan, your foundation, use the entire 1 year to brush up your skill, so that bila when you entered law degree, you will be prepared. Because all we do is presentation in degree. All we do is presentation. You need to do a lot of talking. And even if I think but I think I'll need to explain this to you. Even if you take law, it doesn't mean that you have to be the litigation lawyer. Like you can be the lawyer that didn't have didn't have to do the talking part. You know, you just all do the office work in drafting, and there are so many uh adventurous thing that you can pursue in law with the certificate, with the degree. So don't limit yourself and don't close the possibility of careers, because there is a lot of things that you can do. So brush up your skill, because this is not only for law degree but to all of the students, because this is very important, because you want to communicate with others, and this is the main language of IIUM. So even after this, you want to mingle with other people. This is the main language. So use this entire 1 day to brush up on your English. And then the second one, specifically for law, is that I think build your connection and do a lot of reading. Reading is the most essential part. You know, you need to like reading. So that is the only way you could survive the degree. So and the most important thing, because the first one is build your language, brush up your language, and then the second one, build your connection, and then the third one is do a lot of reading. So I think that is the advice. That is my advices to you. But if you have any further inquiry, you could contact me. So you could ask from the committee if you want to contact me further. I would very love to help you and other students too.
Just to chime in, I think that that point of there's no discrimination should be, you know, embedded in your minds, because you're all the same batch. You're all as clueless as the others. So, you know, take the time to make mistakes. This is your chance. If you want to make mistakes, this is your chance to do so. If you want to cause some, no, I'm not. This is not an invitation for students to cause trouble. But if it's any, if you need to find the time to cause trouble, this is the time. Not in the sense that to cause like massive troubles, but just, you know, to fail, because to fail is to learn. So a community that's open to failure is also a community that's open to learning. So take the time, embed that in your mind, so, and just try your best.
All right.
All right, thank you.
Okay. So if we have any questions, there are any questions? Okay. If there are no question, so I would like to thank you to Sister Atira and Brother Faris for this sharing, and thank you to all the participants. And it's a very fun moment and very benefits. Unfortunately, this marks the end of our program. With that being said, I hope all students will benefit from this sharing session, inshallah. We end our forum with Tasbih Kafarah and Surah Al-As. Yes, that's all. Thank you. So the participants can skip.
Thank you, everyone. You just find, if you want to contact us further and ask about CFS Live, just reach out to our social media lah. I think Tira and I can drop our social media in the chat box.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you.
Most welcome. I think I would like to have. We would like to meet Brozai after this.
Yeah. If possible, can we meet with just short meeting with Brother Zainul once this live ends lah. Alright.
Okay.
Alright.
Boleh dulu lah. I think we can end the ni lah kot, the
The
live.
live session, yes. Please. Alright. Thank you everyone and have a nice day. Bye.